All right, it's December 17th, Wednesday, 2025. Um, I'm getting ready to, my plan is to take this on Saturday, the 20th. And I was planning on having a lot further along, but I ran into some issues and then had more issues, all with the same, uh, with the same converter. So my converter has been my issues. My first issue was I went to go put the converter in for the first time, and I went to go fire the truck up. I fired it up, and I went to go put it in gear, and nothing. I had no forward gears, no reverse gears, nothing. No, wouldn't engage into gear. I had no transmission pressure, and it turned out that I had not engaged the pump all the way on to the transmission. I've not engaged the torque converter all the way onto the pump in the transmission. I have a half-inch mid plate between the motor and the transmission. This happens to be a half an inch of plunge that goes into the transmission. So for all these years and all the times I've tried it and did measurements and I weld the washers on here and I had to pull up just perfect. I never had the thing engaged because it seemed correct because I had a half inch plate and it was exactly the correct pull up. So I never questioned it. I never thought I didn't have it all the way on. So I engaged both splines, but I'd never had this in here. So, anyways, long story short, it doesn't do anything. I pull it off. I talk to the transmission guy. He says, "Oh yeah, you got to get it one more. You got to have 1 inch from the bell housing to here." Sure enough, I had a half inch. Got it to engage. Made some spacers. Put the transmission back in. Got it in. I'm good to go. You know, I had it in the air, no tires on. Fired it up, went through the gears. It was going through the gears, seemed great, and then didn't have any brakes though. So I had my buddies come over this weekend. We were bleeding brakes. I did the small things like putting the new thermostat in, a 180 thermostat. Got that in. Had a hard time bleeding the coolant out after it had water in it once. The second time, I had a bunch of air pockets. So my buddy, who was a Mercedes mechanic, and he's like, "Yeah, just use your radiator, your coolant bleeder." And I'm like, "What? What is that?" I guess everyone knows what this is. I had no idea. I'm not a mechanic. Just a welder. So you can get this from Harbor Freight. I'm sure you can buy Snap-on awesome ones, but this thing was unreal. It worked so good, and I was able to hook an air hose up to it. It's very similar to the AGM brake bleeder, but it's in reverse. This makes vacuum. The AGM brake bleeder makes pressure, and that bleeds your brakes. So you can basically do this one person. And when I did that, though, I buckled my coolant tank, my expansion tank, because I made it with a baffle in here to expand, not vacuum, not suck. So I'm gonna have to fix that later. Anyways, back to the converter. I, like I said, I had it in there for the second time. Everything seemed good. Got the brakes bled this weekend. I had my other buddy here. He was putting rivets in. So there was a bunch of us here. We were all excited. We are going to go drive around the block. And when I went to go put it in gear, which I'll attach a video to that, I'll put that in there. I went from super happy to super bummed because as soon as I hit the brakes, the engine shut off. As soon as I put it in gear, it shut off. So any gear, reverse, anything. So So it turns out that this converter, is set up for a lockout. Don't know. I never dealt with a lockout before, but apparently it flows the fluid in. There's a solenoid. The computer runs it for the 4L80s. But this is a manual valve body, no lockout. Just a miscommunication on ordering that converter. And so just now I'm in a pickle. Now I'm thinking I'm not even going to this show on Saturday because I'm not going unless it's driving. And I still don't know if it drives. I haven't even tried it yet, but we'll see here in a few minutes. I got the carpet in, and Felipe, my buddy's been working on that while I've been dealing with all this drama. I got to put the back seat in. This is basically, I was hoping to have all these paneled. I was hoping to have the panels back here. I was hoping to have a lot further along, but that's not happening because I've been dealing with converters. So you're going to get what you're going to get here. And that's going to be a C here, here, here. And I got Felipe doing the Alcantara is what he says, dash. And that's pretty much it. No spare tire. Might be able to finish off that panel. Pretty much it. So I pulled the transmission out on Sunday. My buddy's like, let's do it. Pull it out. I'm kind of over it. I'm not going to go. We get the thing out. And I call my buddies in McMillan. And Luke was nice enough to sell me one of his converters. But in order to get the converter, I had to come home with one of these suckers. So, yeah, I got another one. I got a spare. But it will come in handy when we do Nora. So, I'm going to give it a few minutes here. I'm finished putting the seats in and then fire it up and see if this thing will move forward, stop, move backwards. So I'll let you know how that goes. But and also I got the wipers in and those are in there. So pretty much everything is mechanically in the truck other than the air conditioning. I need to do the AC lines. I need to do the spare tire. And then I just need to panel everything out and just tons and tons of little details. So I'm still quite a ways away, but it's definitely closer. So these are the panels I was hoping to have made. I will have this side done, but the other side won't be. And then these get panels. So when you look at here, you see it's kind of doesn't look so nice where the carpet is. Well, there's going to be panels that come all the way down and cover this up, just like this. So when you look at it, I don't want to scratch paint, but anyways, you get my drift. So I have the labels. They're sitting over there on the bench. I got to put those on. So those will clean it up nice in here. And yeah, just kind of I had to do some programming with Donnie. We had to get some the shift actuator to get the D10s perfect. So we got that all done. And yeah, I can't really think of too much else that I ran into problems. It was really just the converter. So I hope that it's fixed. I hope it's fixed. So we'll let you know. All right, let's see if she starts up here. Let's put it in neutral. How about that? Park. All right, let's see what happens if I go in reverse. Come on, baby. Go reverse. All right, I felt it didn't die. That's good. That's the first time this thing has moved ever. Hey! Try first gear. It looks like it's going forward. Look at that. And it even stopped. So now it's got to make some room, but all right. Love it. It was a good day. Finally. These little things take a while, and it just eventually comes together. But man, I tell you, that was a tough couple weeks there with this converter. So I don't know. I haven't driven it around yet. That literally was the first time it ever moved under its own power. So finally, it's moving. I don't know if it's gonna stop, but it kind of stops in here. So anyways, I'm just pretty excited right now. Finally, it's funny. It's like when everybody's here ready to do it, nothing works out. You know, I'm here by myself, last second thing, and it seems to work. So I don't know. I just seem to work good alone. I was going to run it, but then I have to get the forklift out, move the boat. I got a bunch of cars in the driveway and street sweeper tomorrow, and I don't want to deal with cars in the street, so I'm going to just do it tomorrow. And I got to get the trailer, and I'm still going to try and do a few things tonight. I'm going to try and wrap this panel up. And man, this is just like beyond words how stoked I am right now that it actually moved. So, again, I'm super thankful for everybody that helped me out this last weekend, but unfortunately, she just wanted to start with me only. I'll show you guys a little bit underneath because no one really is going to see that once I get the belly pins on. You really never see what's going on down here, but this sucker was my nemesis. But I got to clean some RTV off, but yeah. Let's check any leaks down here. I got some more there I gotta clean up. I think I'll go do that right now. But that other transmission I got has a longer nose cone, so that's actually gonna probably work out better putting that nose cone on and switching it out, because you can see the pivots are here. This is just the transmission I had, so I'm assuming that the Herps probably had an underdrive. That's what probably came back further, or had a longer tail shaft. They had a turbo 400 in theirs, but anyway, so that'll bring it back to I have about 1.5 inches of plunge, so it'll probably really help my plunge out if I can get that back a little more. So that's going to mean making a new trans mount, but it's very similar to this. It's just going to have to go back, so I have to go almost straight in line here, and then and be the same thing, just maybe come down a little lower, because the bolt holes are right here on the ID Designs tail housing. So that's underneath the terrible crew cab. It'll never look like this again. That's kind of why I wanted to look at it and get a video of this, because it will be destroyed after the first time I use it. This is just spray paint, so you just chip so easy. I mean, you just barely touch it and it chips. So, you know, I guess the areas that get hammered are going to chip regardless. The areas that don't won't rust. So that's my thought. I kind of wish it was a little stronger, the paint, but it's glossy white, so it hopefully will be easier to clean. And I can always touch it up. So yeah, you could just see, like, just from just when I stuck the exhaust in there, I just chipped it, you know. Ooh, that's hot. So, I mean, there's chips everywhere, just putting the AC compressor in. But, you know what? This thing's going to be beat. This truck is going to be beat up pretty good. So, it'll give it character with all those rusty little... This was my problem. I needed those 1/2 inch. Actually, that's about 580 thousandths. And I got 165 thousandths of pull-up. So this is the Macmillan. This came with that other transmission. So I just swapped it because I had everything set up for this transmission right now. So eventually I'll make both of them exactly the same. I'll put the longer tail shaft. I'll get another ID Designs tail shaft bolted up to this. And then and the plumbing's a little different, so I'll have to change that around a little bit, but they're pretty similar. They're as far as you know, I don't know, I guess it doesn't have a big oil pan. I'll probably put a deep sump pan on it. AC lines, still got to do AC lines. So I don't have the pulley or the belt on the AC. It's just sitting there for now. I still got to sheet metal in all this stuff, and also got to do a bunch of sheet metal work around here. This is all going to get paneled in right here underneath to keep the hot air from the radiator from going into the intake. So there's going to be a bunch of sheet metal work that happens in here, and also back in here there's another skid plate that goes in here. And I'll probably do a little bit of sheet metal work all around here just to protect everything inside there. And then of course along the bottom and on the leading edge of the fuel tank. You can see, maybe you can see it. There's tabs up there. Oh, I gotta set my other Baja Designs light up. I'll probably do that right now. It goes right up in here. Need some zip ties and I'll get that in there. The other side I did. I've been just kind of zip tying wires. And then next thing I'll do is I'll start on that panel. So, all right. Hopefully you guys can come out to the Toys for Tots on Saturday the 20th. This Saturday the 20th in like 3 days. And check this out in person. Because then it's coming back and it'll probably be a little while before I take it out. Hopefully not years. All right, guys. Have a good night. Take it easy.